So Ecowas has just backed Ghana's fight against xenophobia. Let me explain. You see, in a major diplomatic victory, the Ecowas Council of Ministers has shown its full support behind Ghana's petition to the African Union calling for stronger actions against xenophobia across Africa. Now,
South Africa has vehemently denied that they are not patriarch state. They are not isolated, as information is being portrayed in the media by some.
Major breaking news, guys. South Africa is in huge trouble. You all know that Ghana petitioned South Africa to the AU, and we've been waiting for the AU to, attend to the issue. But right now, Ecowas fully backed Ghana. In fact, they are now. So now the Ecowas is fully in support of Ghana. In fact, they are asking Ghana, we are also going to join you to petition South Africa over the xenophobic attacks that is currently happening to all Africans in South Africa. You all know that Ghana is one of the countries that started the repatriation of its own citizens. Nigeria joined, Botswana joined, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Kenya, Congo, they all repatriated their people back home. So all African countries are also joining Ghana to petition South Africa. It is going to be over for South Africans. Say over. Somebody shouts, it is over in the comment section. Let's take a look at the videos. Guys, help me to share this video, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. A lot of you have been watching my videos, you do not subscribe. The subscribe button is free of charge, the like button is free, and the share button is free.
So Ecowas has just backed Ghana's fight against xenophobia. Let me explain. You see, in a major diplomatic victory, the Ecowas Council of Ministers has shown its full support behind Ghana's petition to the African Union calling for stronger actions against xenophobia across Africa. Now, let me make you understand this better. You see, this announcement was made by Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister, Ablakwa, during the Ecowas meeting in Sierra Leone. Now, here's why this is very important. You see, over the past few weeks, tensions have gone following renewed attacks and intimidations, targeting some foreign African nationals in South Africa. And this wasn't just fear, it's turned deadly. You see, a 40-year-old Ghanaian, Bashiru Isaac, was shot multiple times in Kaili, Cape Town, at a time when anti-immigrant tensions were escalating. Ghana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs described him as a law-abiding citizen and a father of 3, and strongly condemned the killing. Now here's where things get tense. You see, following the incident, the government of Ghana lodged a formal diplomatic protest with South African authorities, demanded a full and transparent investigations, and called for those responsible to be arrested and prosecuted without delay. But the story didn't end there. Mr. Isaac's body was flown back to Ghana, where it was received by government officials and his grieving family before being transferred to the 37 military hospital. Ghana also announced it will conduct an independent autopsy, after saying efforts to obtain South Africa's official autopsy reports have not been successful. At the same time, South African authorities disputed Ghana's account of the circumstances surrounding the killing, arguing that it was not linked to the anti-immigrants demonstration and warning against what they describe as false narrative about xenophobia. Now, despite those disagreements, Ghana has maintained that regardless of the exact circumstance of the shooting, every attack on foreign African nationals must be fully investigated and those responsible held accountable. Now, here's where things even get more interesting. You see, the issues has sparked concerns across the continent. However, instead of focusing only on the attacks themselves, some South African politicians, commentators, and civil groups accuse Ghana and Nigeria of spreading propaganda and exaggerating the situation to damage South Africa's international image.
More concerning has been the peddling of false information by a diplomatic representative of a country that has become central to this campaign.
You see, South Africa's government has refused to take responsibilities. Ghana has repeatedly argued that xenophobic violence undermines the vision of a united Africa championed by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and Nelson Mandela. And despite numerous videos circulating online showing attacks and intimidations against foreign African nationals, South African authorities have maintained that many of the incidents are being misrepresented internationally. They have argued that some of the demonstrations were aimed at crime and illegal immigration rather than xenophobia. Whilst critic argues that the distinction does not change the fact that foreign African nationals have been targeted. Now, ECOWAS has effectively endorsed Ghana's position by backing Ghana's petition to the African Union. African leaders are saying that xenophobia is not just South Africa's internal issue. It is a continental concern that deserves coordinated African action. So now the big question is, will the African Union take concrete actions to address xenophobia and ensure justice for the foreign African nationals who have lost their lives, livelihoods, and investment in South Africa? Or will this become another issue that is debated today and forgotten tomorrow? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and repost this video.
South Africa has vehemently denied that they are not patriarch state. They are not isolated, as information is being portrayed in the media by some states and some country leaders. But this is contrary to what Ablakwa, the foreign minister of Ghana, has just posted. He said that he's thanking Nigeria ECOWAS, about 15 country ECOWAS, for adopting officially that petition should be submitted at the African Union against the maltreatment of Africans in South Africa, that this maligns the unity of Africa. You see, it is getting interesting as Ghana is using structural pattern, and I know very well that South Africa as well are trying to move around the southern bloc to see how they can resist. Tell me what you think about the development in the comment section.
Some South Africans in some certain towns in South Africa find out some certain places that has a lot of foreign nationals and decide to build big flats in these towns that could accommodate up to 100 people because of these foreign nationals. But they didn't have enough money to build this flat. Therefore, they went to the white man's bank and borrowed the money and put their multi-million houses as a collateral. By the time they finished building this flat, the white man went to them as a businessman because he was thinking business, more profit. He told them that, do you know that the foreign nationals are the reason why your children are jobless? Do you know that foreign nationals are the reason why your children are addicted in drugs? Do you know that foreign nationals are the one doing kidnapping issues in South Africa? Do you know that they are doing so many robberies in South Africa? These South Africans, by the time they were listening to this thing, their hearts started boiling. They were filled with anger and went ahead and started sponsoring march and mad groups saying that foreign nationals must leave our country. The fools did not realize that they are building this flat because of them. They removed all foreign nationals and sent them back to their country. The building was left with no one to rent. The white man needs his money.
While we continue condemning the violence, the looting, the destruction of property in South Africa, I think as Africans, there's a very important lesson we need to learn from all of this. If you move to another country and decide to start a business, you have to understand the laws of that country before investing your money. Find out what businesses foreigners are legally allowed to operate and make sure your immigration status permits you to run a business. Register your business where required and keep your tax records, licenses, contracts, receipts, insurance documents, and proof of ownership. Because when a crisis happens and property is lost, simply saying I own a shop worth this amount may not be enough. Authorities, courts, insurers, or any compensation process may ask, can you prove ownership? Can you prove the value of what was lost? Were you legally operating the business? And before buying land or property, also go through the proper legal channels, obtain the correct documents, and confirm that there are no government restrictions, court orders, or legal disputes affecting it. Proper documentation too does not guarantee compensation, but it can make your losses easier to prove and your claim much stronger. And let me be clear that being undocumented or operating an unregistered business never justifies violence, looting, or destruction of anyone's property. But as Africans continue moving across the continent in search of opportunities, we must learn to protect our investments. Do not build a business in another country without building a legal paper trail. And through all of this, always remember, your life is more important than any business or property. Thank you all for watching.
Guys, you can see what is currently happening, right? The Ecowas are now backing Ghana that they are also going to join in suing or petitioning South Africa. First, it was Europe that banned South Africans from coming to South Africa. Now the Ecowas are ganging up. In fact, they have all come together. This is not about ganging. They have all come together to petition South Africa because South Africans are not taking accountability and not taking accountability of what their people have done to foreigners. In fact, to the point that the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, was even in support of the protests. So it is good that all African countries petition them, let them sue all of them to the AU. Sue South Africa, let them pay dearly for everything that they have done to Africans living in their country. And those that are living legally